Contractual charges refer to all the fees and expenses that will be charged as a percentage of the overall budget, as opposed to a fixed or predetermined price. These charges are typically outlined in a contract or agreement between two parties and can include various expenses such as transaction fees, management fees, and performance-based incentives. Unlike fixed fees, which remain constant regardless of project performance or cost fluctuations, contractual charges are calculated as a percentage of the budget and can vary based on project outcomes or other factors agreed upon in the contract. Let's click on the charges link to start setting up our contractual charges. The first requirement requested by the investor is a contingency fee of 10%. This fee is a standard practice in any film investments, as it serves as a safety net in case of unforeseen events or additional expenses. Personally, I find it helpful to have this contingency fee in place, as it provides peace of mind knowing that there's a certain amount set aside to cover any potential overages or issues that may arise. Additionally, if the production runs smoothly and the contingency fee is not utilized, it's possible that a bonus may be rewarded by the investor. It works good for everybody. Let's set the contingency fee at 10%. Some expenses may be excluded from this fee. For example, it's common to deduct expenses such as the producer's salary, director's salary, or music costs from the contingency fee. Your investor and their team can provide guidance on which expenses can be excluded from the contingency fee. These items to be excluded may seem small and easy to overlook, but they can actually add up to a significant sum that would otherwise be lost from the production budget. It's important to pay attention to these details and fight for what's necessary to make the project successful, and allocate most of the budget to appear on the screen. If you need to exclude any expenses from the contingency fee, you can mark the excluded amount window and list the exclusions in the table provided below. However, for the purpose of our budget, we will not be excluding any amounts from the contingency fee. We know we have a little bit of padding in this section for a later use. The next contractual charge we would like to add is the production insurance, including errors and omission insurance. E&O insurance is particularly important for protecting against claims of copyright infringement, defamation, invasion of privacy, or other legal issues that may arise during the production or distribution of a film. Many distributors and broadcasters require E&O insurance before they will distribute or air a film. Sometimes, filmmakers may not include the cost of E&O insurance in their budget, opting instead to let the distributor cover the expense. However, it's important to note that if the distributor does cover the cost, they may charge the film a significantly higher amount than if the insurance was included in the original budget. Production insurance is essential for protecting all the assets involved in your production, including equipment, vehicles, and wardrobe. Obtaining production insurance should be a top priority, as you will need to provide a certificate of insurance when renting equipment. In general, production insurance, which may also include E&O coverage, typically amounts to around 2% of the budget. Let's set our production insurance budget at 2%. As with the contingency fee, it's possible to exclude certain items from the production insurance coverage, although it's best to consult with your insurance provider to determine which items are eligible for exclusion. For the purposes of this exercise, we will not exclude any amounts. We do have a bit of extra padding in this section, which may come in handy for unexpected expenses. Some investor will require from you a film bond insurance. Film bond insurance is a type of insurance that provides financial protection to investors and lenders who finance a film production. A film bond is essentially a guarantee that the film will be completed on time, within budget, and to the satisfaction of the financiers. Film Finances is a highly respected and experienced provider of film bond insurance, and I highly recommend making them your first point of contact when inquiring about this type of coverage. I have listed a link to Film Finances in the resources section of this document, so you can easily access their website and learn more about their services. It's important to note that while Film Finances is a top provider of film bond insurance, there are other options available as well. It's always a good idea to shop around and compare quotes from different providers before making a decision. As a general guideline, film bond insurance costs typically range from 3% to 5% of the production budget. Let's add another contractual charge, film bond insurance, and we'll set it at 3%. Remember to negotiate with your investor about whether or not to include bond insurance in the budget. Since after all, it is not a small amount. If you have any questions or concerns regarding film bond insurance, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can join my Facebook group or email me, and I will do my best to provide you with the information and support you need. Let's recap the 3 essential contractual charges you need to include in your budget, along with the option to add more if needed. Contingency fee. This is a necessary buffer that protects your project from unforeseen events and expenses. The contingency fee should be set at 10%. Insurance. You must purchase production insurance to cover equipment, wardrobe, vehicles, and other related items. This is necessary for equipment rental purposes, and the cost usually comes to about 1.75 to 2% of the budget. I advise including the errors and emissions insurance as part of the production insurance. Bond insurance. If required, you may need to purchase film bond insurance to secure financing and protect investors. The cost of this insurance typically ranges from 3 to 5% of the budget. Remember, you can exclude certain amounts from each charge based on what your insurance provider or investor allows. Be sure to consult, or shout, with them regarding what exclusions are permissible. By incorporating these essential charges into your budget and planning for potential contingencies and risks, you'll be better prepared to see your project through to completion. Before we move on to other aspects of the budget, let's take care of one final item: fringes. Fringes are additional costs beyond an employee's salary, such as taxes, benefits, and insurance.